Hey, scrappy people. Tracy Reed here with days 15 and 16 of December Daily. I'm going to be telling two stories here. They're kind of what I consider small filler stories, so I decided to pair them together to sort of bridge to the next story because I have a very specific size card that is going with like day 17. So I needed sort of to bridge that gap between a 6x8 layout and the back of that card. And I didn't really want to use any of my larger stories on such a small canvas. So long story short, we're going to have 15 and 16 together. This is going to be a 6x8 layout. I'm going to be using the All Is Bright collection for both because this side is going to be a story about my wrapping paper and my gift tag. So what I have, or my idea here, is to use both this wreath page that I have been desperately waiting to use. I want to put it over our rainbow of wrapping paper that we have going on this year. And then I'm going to have this open up like this to tell the story of our rainbow wrapping paper. And then instead of trying to get crazy and add more to this story than it needs, I thought it would be super cool to take this sheet of gift tags and just create a really cool pattern on the back of this photo. I have a whole nother sheet and another half a sheet, and oh my gosh, I have so many, and I always end up just like, oh look, I have 2 sheets. I always end up just like shuffling these in and losing them after Christmas is over. So I thought this would be really cool to just create it like a patterned paper. I'm not even gonna cut it up. I'm just going to like adhere it to the back of this photo, I think, and let it be. So here is a tag where I can add my journaling, or maybe I'm not sure what I want to do with this yet. We'll see what happens here. But that was my thought process. And then this side of the layout is a 6x8 on the back of my page yesterday. And these are the Christmas cactuses that my bestie bought us. So she bought me the red one and she bought herself this pinky white one. And so I wanted to do like a small story about that. I have these journal cards that I might include. I'm not sure yet. Actually, this one I was thinking about including on this one, maybe on top of these. Who knows? That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. We'll see. Anyway, I was thinking about including this one for the journaling. Both of our cactuses bloomed at the same time. So again, 2 small stories, but I always include the wrapping paper photo in my December Daily every year. So I wanted to make sure I included it before things started to get hectic. I already have days all the way through day 20 planned. So we are getting to crunch time in the album. I am not going to be short of stories this year. So let's put these small ones in before they get overlooked. All right, let's go. You guys, when I tell you that this video was 45 minutes at double time, you will begin to understand I wasn't even on the struggle bus. I just was putting so much focus into every aspect of this spread. I really should have done 15 and 16 separately, but I did not, so you are getting both of them together. So the first thing I did was the easy part because I like to do the easy part first. And I put the sheet of labels on the back of this photo. I'm assembling it with a cardstock hinge like I like to do. It's much more sturdy than doing it with washi. So I decided to put these on a jaunty angle, and then I'm going to just trim around the outside edges. When I tell you I had to cut out a ton of like the trimming and plonking and pasting and all of that from this video to make it even a reasonable length, I'm not even kidding. So you'll see a lot of fast forwarding through cutting and alphabets and all of that kind of stuff. So I have that all together. Now I'm going to start with day 15, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how the heck I'm going to get these photos on here. I had to reprint them smaller. I originally had them at 3 inches. They were just too big, and so I reprinted them at 2 inches. I really wanted to keep trying to include these numbered tags, but I definitely cut them at the size that they come in, which is about a size of a 3x4 card. And with the way that I scrapbook, scrapbook. It's just, they're too big and I should just go ahead and recut them smaller. But have I ever told you before that I am a lazy scrapbooker? Yes, I'm a lazy scrapbooker, so that is not going to happen unless I have a very specific reason. So we're going to go with it. So I decided to use the 15 and the 16 from the Vicki Boutin chipboard numbers that came in the Citrus Twist kit, but I didn't want to use the same numbers on both sides. I'm a little bit nitpicky that way. I like variation. I like things to be different. I'm not quite sure why I was fixated on that so much with this particular spread, since I was designing them to go together and they are together in my album. So it doesn't make much sense, but my brain doesn't always make a lot of sense. So I really fought using these 15 and 16 pieces together, but in the end it actually makes sense because I end up using a lot of black on the 15 side because it's just a running joke between my bestie and I. She is the goth one, I am the rainbow one. She's the dark one, I'm the light one, which isn't necessarily true for our personalities, but it is definitely true for the way that we present ourselves to the world. So since she bought these cactuses, she even bought a light one and a dark one, which I think it's funny that she gave me the red one and she kept the pink one, which is just strange because that would not be normal. But she bought, you know, dueling cactuses that were the same thing but different, because we are the same thing but different. Anyway, so I end up using a lot of black because there's black with rainbow, but I'm gonna say that the way that I initially put these snowflakes down, because I had that black snowflake on, or the black backed snowflake on the card, the way that I initially put these down was not making me happy. It was just like, I put a title down and I didn't even like the title. Like, the title, it's stupid. It's a stupid title. And so I'm just like, And so I love all the noises I'm making in this video. I'm sorry. This is the real me, the non-professional me. I don't know. She's decided to come out and play. So I'm just not even struggling. Like, I didn't feel like I was struggling. I just was perfecting and it was not coming out perfect. So I'm rearranging these snowflakes and this helps and it starts driving this bus in the right direction. I'm going to take off that stupid title, and once I get these clustered in a way that makes me happier, rather than going down the page, they're going across the page, which leads your eye to the other page when eventually I bring it back in, that also has snowflakes, but it's like the opposite snowflakes, right? These are black backed, they're bright and colorful, glittery, well, faux glittery. They're from the digital kit. And then on the other side, I have that whole gorgeous wreath full of white snowflakes that have inked edges, and it's just the synchronicity of both the theme and the way that these two sides of the spread come together really makes me happy. It's just so fun when things like that work out the way that I'm kind of envisioning, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna front. I did not envision that when I started this layout. It just happened. And then looking at it now that it's done, I see what I did there, unconsciously, subconsciously, I guess. Okay, so these snowflakes are making me happy now. I'm gonna have to put this 15 down, and it's gonna go there. You can see, I was like, yes, that's where it goes. So we're gonna put it down. We're gonna commit with some liquid glue. You know, things are getting real when I'm using the liquid glue. Or that I'm gonna have to pull it up again later because I screwed up. One of the two, both, yes, both. So I don't know why I put this this paper clip on. It was not the right paper clip. This is the paper clip I'm going for. I like the little bow. All right, phew. Now, Cactus Twins, still a stupid title, but a better stupid title. And so I changed the alphabets that I'm using. All of these are Cocoa Daisy alphabets from various collections, but I changed the alphabet that I'm using. I did white and black to, again, match the number, match the theme, match everything, and it looks so much better. Decided to, what the heck, just throw this one last snowflake on here. Well, I have one more, the red one up there, but I didn't want to add red because it was such a red background. And then, all right, phew, now we can move on. We can move on. I'm not even going to lie, that was the longest part of this. I really, really, really was fighting internally to not use that black and white 16. That looks perfect with this layout. So I pulled out one of the candy coated Christmas foiled numbers. Not gonna happen. This 16 is perfect, and so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna give up the ghost, put the 16 down, and then I had that same problem that I had on, I don't even remember what day, but the holiday layout where I had that transparency that I didn't want to fight with what was underneath it. So when in doubt, what do? You add white to white, and that way when you open the page, you have these beautiful white snowflakes that make the photo not look empty and undecorated with just like a random 16 sitting there. But when the page is closed, they're not fighting for dominance with that beautiful rainbow wreath. It's just, I did the same thing but different in the holiday layout where I used the Cocoa Daisy like glittery swirls that were also white. And it really worked out well, so that was why I thought about doing it here. I'm going to add these white enamel dots from my Santa Claus Lane collection. It's just absolute, just like the little touches, you guys, that really just brought this whole thing together. It made me so happy. You can see when I put the transparency back on how well it works. And also I love that it's snowflakes again. We're riding the whole snowflake train all across this layout. We're going for it. Lastly, need to work on this inside page, which is wild. Admittedly, it is wild. So I thought that we would just go even more wild. I guess that's what I was thinking. And I think what I was thinking was that if I didn't put a journal card at the bottom of this tag, the journaling would just feel weird if I just journaled down there and not under this top tag up here. I think that was what my mind was thinking there. Like it needed to be encapsulated. So my thought process here was that I had so much white on white going on that we were just going to tie-dye this tag and we're going to make it rainbow because that's what we're going here. So I got out my these inks that I promptly threw away because they are just old and were not working for me. And I got out some water, spread it all around, used way too much blue. And I just thought to myself, if this is stupid and I don't like it in the end, no big deal, just toss it. But I do. I love it. It is wild and crazy for that wild and crazy page, but I really loved it. And so when I opened this up, I was like, I need something on here. So I'm going to add this Holly Jolly from the Mix and Mingle Simple Stories foam stickers from Citrus Twist Kits, one of the Citrus Twist Kits. I haven't used these at all yet, but I thought that it worked here. Just let's add more crazy to crazy. Perfect. I thought about doing Holly and Jolly, but it was covering up that rainbow, which I really wanted to keep. And so I'm going to do these little hollies instead. And that's fine. That's all we need over here. I just wanted something to make it just not look silly. And I put a star in there to match. I'm letting that tag dry. And then I was like, I cannot keep that journaling card there. So we're just going to pull it off. I will journal at the bottom. We will all survive with my unencapsulated journaling. And this is how it's going to go together once it's all dry. And yeah, that is it. I love, love, love the way this came out. It looks so much easier on camera than it was in real life because you get the joy of editing. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There is a link in the description box below to the blog post for this post for all of the credits and all of the still images. If you still pin things to Pinterest, you can do it over there. That is it. I don't know what's wrong with me, but enjoy. I'll see you next time. All right. Thank you.